What is going down, Avengers? Today's an exciting day. Miss Bishop is joining the squad. Apparently, in hyphenated, it's at no additional cost. Well, this game's been needing an overhaul, and quite frankly, I think it's way overdue. My name is Mac here at the MacGyver7 channel, and today we'll be looking at 1.17 that comes to us live for the systems, and the 1.40, which basically is going to hit the points of the patch across the board. Stadia will be not joining the situation of what is an installment, but all the other systems and consoles will. So let's go ahead and dive into it, shall we? As we can kind of see what opens up right over here. We can see that it basically lets us know that exact fact that Kate is joining the squad. On top of the new operations, Marvel's Avengers Kate Bishop is take aim, no additional cost as well. Please note that the Heroes operation in the introducing of Kate Bishop take aims does not support random matchmaking. However, players still can invite their friends to play the operative to co-op mode, doing so at the outpost in the Quinjet. So on top of that, there is some cosmetic portions that Bishop will be getting inside of the challenge cards, and the abilities to enable and disable takedowns. As we scroll down, we'll be seeing some more information. As we can see the situation of higher contrast mode available inside of the settings, we're going to look at the portion of the campaign. Rare fixes that come into the cinematics when freezing with Hulk on top of Captain America and the lighting failed. Issues also expanded to the missions that sometimes would be multiple regions on top of the war table. On top of the morales, on top of what would be seen inside of missing Substance Zero, there's also Kamala in the situation of falling during the Hulk chase, the sequence, and the road back. Fixed issues also come down to the game finale and the champion portion that would not be able to be revived, and fallen Captain America. Poor Cap. Now he can stand and do his best. On top of that, we can look at the fixed issues that come into the companions that are left behind after all the players have loaded out of the match in the Taskmaster. On top of the situation for as far as the companion to get their locked behind doors. The second wave of drones and the properly now entering the room inside of the house call. We also look at Captain America that would not speak in the cinematics inside of the global presence. Morales now plays for the correct VO when returning inside of the outpost. Fixed also times for rare issues when it finds the Olympia, when Hulk jumps up and stands above the Abomination, preventing him from some fights, and the Abomination is some blocking progression. So kind of sucks. Looking at past that situation with switch profiles in the main menu without a save prevents a new campaign from progressing through the A-Day, one of the very beginning missions that we all got to have a fun time with. The issues also expand to the crash repeatedly for the selection of factions and missions, the rare issues that sometimes came into the non-interactions on the war table, Hulk and the companions sometimes missing when in the war zone, and the characters becoming stuck in terrains. Also looking at the companions and NPCs going out of the world, and the various crashes and the black screen issues that came and ensued rightly after. Now, art and animation, Thor in his unworthy outfit incorrectly featuring in his longer hair, now has been trimmed a little bit more on top of this patch. We can also see that multiple points on matchmaking and multiplayer join the roster of fixes, as we see that the Rift, Along Came a Spider, the mission that failed for remaining in the players that host in the change for as far as after competing the portion of the first objectives. We can see the issues inside of that also continued with the reappeared portion of the Quinjet, and the rocket red glare for as far as Kamala hits in the yellow targets before entering the elevator did not always register. On top of a lot of good fixes that come into the situation, Breakout Mission shows the one region inside of the pinpoint war table. And as we scroll down, we can see that there's going to be a bigger list as I close down whatever the roster that just popped up right there. I'll do that later. I'm part of your Discord, don't worry. Looking at the situation for as far as the AI companions in the elevators that would not change, the rare issues for the prolonged black screens that would come into the missions and the completions. players sometimes facing the wrong direction upon checkpoint reloads, and the multiple issues that were after reloading the checkpoint previously with opening or smashing doors that appear closed. On top of the issues that form the host and unable to match inside of the strike team that just left the strike team via invites and or joining, you can see that the matchmaking no longer breaks up the group when hosts close the game after failing the mission. Pretty neat. That would be something that would be pretty lame. On top of that, as we get down to our last portion of the multiplayer stability improvements, we look at the UI, our user interface. The MODOK codex comes down to the entry for as far as the proper unlocks when players were defeated. The codex also has the portion of the evacuation zone that can be acquired when completing Mayhem for as far as the Manhattan. Now looking at for as far as the issues inside of the icon and the smashed wall doors that would sometimes not show up. Fixed issues for as far as the higher contrast and the mode of the UI issues. We also saw that there was removed portions in the abilities of the ping for as far as the flight and the avoid portion of the placement. Now, matchmaking inside of the lock section for as far as the purchase for the screen without having the marketplace. And as we scroll down a little bit more to see what the UI comes to the tail end is the visual message upgrade inside of the dismiss for as far as the items that would be able to reduce the mistakes. Stronger visual messages going towards the operatives and the mission icons for as far as the UI, its pulse, various text fixes, and various language and location text issues. Gears and rewards that come down to the list as we're coming down to almost 7 minutes in this lovely patch note, and it seems like hopefully we might get towards the tail end of this. Now looking at fixed issues that would occur during swapping in gears in the table, and fixed issues that loot would be inconsistently requiring a power level required for the mission. On top of the threats that sectors loots, we saw a better portion for rewards and power levels. Hive also came into a focus points rewards that could include some portions of epic gear, on top of the minor adjustments of the existing challenges. Now, before we end up sliding to the very last section, if you've noticed some newer issues or consistent issues, drop a comment down below. I would definitely like to hear what the community has to show. Now, looking at past that situation, as we know, issues and workarounds. So unfortunately, there are some things that they're still out there for potential crashes within the Quinjet, Xbox One, and Xbox One S consoles after playing the repeating missions in Kate Bishop. So they already know what's going on with this update before it even came around. So at least they tested out some broken things that they know of. So this is pretty important for the tail end. Working on that fix to be implemented in the near future, on top of the attempting purchases of the challenge cards without the necessary credits, bringing up an error message. Players can click on the credit icon, and that would be a nice little workaround. Choosing the directly to the Kate and the operative being all the workarounds that we're seeing for the Avengers initiative and the state that cannot be interactive with the vendor abroad. Go to the helicopter and get into that helicarrier. As on top of that, the fixed issues will come down to launching the Avenger portions after Kate Harm has been training. So those are all that. This is all that fun stuff on top of that. So if you are new to the network, you can always like, share, and subscribe. It's brand new, helps me out as a creator, and absolutely free. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, if you do, they'll continue to update, and I will continue to update for the community. Have a nice day, stay safe, stay classy, and I will see you guys and gals in the near future.